Hey everyone, welcome to this training video about working with PowerShell modules, where you will learn how to load and use the PowerShell commands and functions from these PowerShell modules for various applications. My name is Navneet Kumar and I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. Well, the PowerShell modules are nothing but the packages of PowerShell commandlets, functions, or scripts. The PowerShell module is one of the best way to share the scripts, commands, or functions across the developer community. We have several public feeds like the PowerShell Gallery, where from we can download and use these PowerShell packages. That's what we are going to learn in this video, how to use these PowerShell modules to extend the capabilities of the PowerShell to support various applications. If you run a command get module, the modules have been loaded to this current session will be listed here. If you want to list the modules from the disk of this system, then you need to use the switch called list available. As soon as you run this command, it will list all the available modules on this system. But wait, these might not be the all modules on this system. The system may have more than these modules. This command will check for the modules in some specific locations like C program files, Windows PowerShell modules directory, and the PowerShell's installation directory, which is system32, Windows PowerShell version 1.0, and then modules directory. What if the modules are available in any other directory? Suppose this system has multiple drives and the modules are present in any other drive. Will they be listed here? Answer is they might not be. Suppose if I have this E drive and there is a directory called sample, I enter to this directory and create a module with the command new module manifest, and the path for that module will remain same and the name of the module will also be same, and this is PowerShell data module I'm creating, and hit enter. Though this module has no command or function stored inside it, and in fact we will learn about creating the custom PowerShell modules, the PSD or PSM modules in more details in another video. Here the purpose of creating this module is to list you that okay, there is a module in E drive, but when I run the command get module list available, it will not list the module from the E drive. So why is it so? Why the modules from the E drive from this system are not listed? The answer is that there is an environment variable. If you run get ps drive in the PowerShell, there are PowerShell drives, and there is one environment variables PowerShell drive where environment variables are stored. These environment variables have some values specified in them. They are used by the operating system and the applications. So if I do the dir to this environment variable drive, you will notice that there are dozens of environment variables, and one of them is this ps module path, which has few PowerShell module path locations specified already in it. I could have accessed this environment variable directly by using the environment variable drive and the name of the variable. These are the locations which are semicolon separated, where the PowerShell will look for the modules by default. This is the reason that we do not see the modules available in the E drive in the list by using get module command. Now we have two different ways to work with those modules which are not in these locations. Number one, we can import the modules from their literal path. So these modules are stored in, let's say, E drive. It is sample.psd1, and I will import the module. I got the module in my current session, and I can use the commands or functions inside that module, which I don't have as of now. So this is one way. If I remove this module once again from this current session, this is sample, and I removed it. If I list the module in current session, there is no module as sample over here. This was one of the way by importing the module by defining its literal path. Then it doesn't matter where the module is, you provide the literal path of the module and import it and use it. The another way to deal with this is to manipulate that PS module path variable. We have seen this variable as these locations which are semicolon separated. So I can concatenate some data to this. So I'm adding one more string which is semicolon separated, and I'm putting that entire E drive in this. Now if I list the PS module path, E drive is also part of this PS module path. This time, if I do get module list available, it will not only list the modules available from these three locations which are predefined in it, but will also use the E drive. Anywhere in the E drive there were modules, they will be listed and I can use them. You know, in PowerShell 3.0 onwards, we got auto background loading of PowerShell modules. So if I'm running PowerShell 3 or later, in my case I'm using 5.1. So this PowerShell will support auto background loading of the module. I can run any command that is there in this module. The module will be loaded in the background automatically. I need not to do this import module every time. So it is better you either manipulate this variable before you access the variables, or you save the module in the defined locations. For an instance, I can move this directory which was sample to that destination, and excuse me about using this shortcut, I did not use that path parameter which is positional actually, and then the destination which is $PowerShell home, the PowerShell's home directory, which is C Windows System 32, Windows PowerShell version 1.0, and then /modules directory. So I'm moving this directory to that location. Now I need not to depend on that PS module path variable. I need not to in fact manipulate that. So if I want, I can go with the default values, because in the predefined values this path is already there, which is C Windows System 32 Windows PowerShell version 1.0 modules directory. So I can replace it to the default values. If you look into this, these are the three locations. It is set to the default. Now I can get the module from this system and list available. So because the module has been stored into this location in the PowerShell installation directory, so it will be available among other modules. You will see that over here the sample module is listed. This is how you can save your module into a particular location. Now we used few commands here like get module command to list the modules, available modules on the system. or remove module command to remove the module from the current session. We were not deleting that module, actually we were only removing it from here. So remove module, let me run the command once again, and I want to remove this module cmd module from here. So we have seen that command. But if I want to see all the commands related to modules, then I can go with this noun get command by noun and module. We have lots of commands to deal with the modules. New module manifest command we have seen, so we can create the modules. We can import the module to the current session. We can remove the module. When it comes to import the module, you can import the module from a remote computer as well. For that, you have to create a PowerShell session with that computer. So suppose I want to create a PowerShell session with another computer, which is, let's say, London DC1, and I can store that session into a variable $DC1. If you look at this variable DC1, there is a PowerShell session opened. The PowerShell remoting must be turned on the target computer. Now, when it comes to import the module and you define the module name, let's say DNS server, then you can define the PS session, and that is the PS session stored in this variable. It will import that module from that remote computer to this local machine, and this is called implicit remoting. Without taking the shadow shell of that remote computer, you can import the module to this system and run the commands directly from here, from this shell, and those commands will be executed on that target computer with which you have opened this remote session. So we can also import the modules this way. The another command we have seen is to remove the modules from the current session. Now we have few other commands over here, like finding the module. Finding the module from the repositories. Like we have a public feed called PowerShell Gallery. So if I take you to the PowerShell Gallery where lots of modules are there, the PowerShell packages are stored over here in this feed. So you will notice that there are 12,957 unique packages, and these are the total downloads so far, and these are the total packages because each module can have multiple versions of it. So if you want to use any module, you can search for that. Suppose you want to work with Azure, so AZ related module, or you need DNS related module, DHCP related module. So these modules will be listed over here, like az.dns, Azure rm.dns, DNS resolver, DNS client PS. These are multiple modules from the community. They have been shared, and you can use these modules in your environment. Suppose this DNS suffix been written by Jeff Hicks, and I want to use that. There are 13,362 downloads of it, and you can look for more details about this module also, how to install it as well. It will show you the commands. If you want to install it, you can run the PowerShell command install module, and then you can define the name. You will notice that there might be versions of it. There is the only version which is 0.4.1. Okay. If the module has multiple versions, let me take another module which has more than one version of it. So this is DNS server STIG, and it has more than one version of it. If I want to move to the other version, so I can use a version parameter over here, required version parameter, and I can go with that older module version. If you don't define this required version, which is an optional parameter, then it will automatically go with the current version of the module. So this is how you can run these commands. You also can download this module manually as a NUPKG file. The NUPKG file will be extracted first, but to extract that you need to rename that with the zip. So you will change the extension of it to .zip, and then you can extract that. You can right click and extract all, and this module files will be extracted. Then you can place this module. It has that PSD1 file, PSM file. You can put this module into that location where the modules are stored, like I shown you earlier on moving the modules to a particular location. In that PS module path we have those locations defined. Or else we can install the module by providing the name of it. Name of the module was DNS STIG. Let me copy that and put it over here. This command is to download and install the module directly. But suppose I want to find them not through the web portal but through the PowerShell. So PowerShell uses a PowerShell get provider to connect to the PowerShell gallery or any other gallery. You can connect to different feeds also. We have the commands uh, to define the location, to set the public feeds or private feeds. So find module and then the module name. If you are not sure about that, then you can use the wildcards. Suppose I'm not sure about what is the name of that DNS STIG or whatever, so I use the wildcards. So using that PowerShell get provider, it will connect to the PowerShell gallery and will show you the modules. So here I go with the yes on this consent, and this is the package provider. The job of the package provider is to download, install, or manage those packages. There are lots of package managers like Homebrew or Chocolatey for Windows. We have Homebrew we have for Mac operating systems, and there are lots of package managers out there. So all the modules are listed over here now. Suppose I want to use this DNS DN simple PS or any let's say this search DNS module I want to use. So I will take the name of that and I will install the module and I will provide the name of it. If I want required version, then I can use that version. Okay, and then I can say allow clobber and I will install. In case there will be any errors, I do not want to see those errors or warnings, I'll use allow clobber for that. I could have run it without that as well, to run it interactively and to see any errors coming up. So now that module is downloaded and installed to this system, I can figure out that whether I have got any command from that module. So get command from the module search DNS, and I don't see any command. Get execution policy. If I see, it is unrestricted. Okay, let me take some another module. Let's say this DNS history or AZDNS as code, or that DNS STIG we were working earlier. So install module. Module is DNS STIG. So this is how you can download the modules. It says that this module is coming from the untrusted repository, because PowerShell Gallery is a public feed, and the community is updating those modules. They may have malicious code inside that, so you should you should do the testing first, okay, of these modules. Now you can set the repository as the trusted repository as well by using this command. If you don't want to see this warning, so you can define that, okay, this repository is the trusted repository. If I get the command from the module DNS STIG, so Okay, the following commands are already available on this system. Get AD. Okay, whatever the commands are there in this module, they are already there. I just ignored it. So let me use this intended.net.dns resource, another module, install module, or let me use that az.dns or Azure DNS related commands, and hit enter. So this is how you can install the modules from the PowerShell Gallery. You can find them with find module command. Install module command is used to install them. If you want to publish the modules in a feed, then you can use publish module command. So if I get the command from the module az.dns, so what additional commands I have got on this system. So from that module, whatever the commands been loaded, so they will be displayed over here. You can work with Azure DNS, and these are the commands to create the new Azure DNS instances like DNS zones, etc. And then you can modify them, you can retrieve the Azure DNS details, or you can do the configuration. So this is how you can get the modules from a particular feed. This command was there to set the repository. So set PS repository, the PowerShell repository that you want to set as a trusted repository. So you can name that, it will accept a string value, the source location, the URL of it you will define, publishing location of that. So there are parameters that you will define, and you will put that as a trusted repository. There will be the commands for this PS repository as well. So you can get the command by this noun in this, which is PS repository. So we can get the PowerShell repositories on this system. We can register them, we can set them, or we can unregister them. So PowerShell Gallery is actually untrusted right now, and this is the source location. Okay, so now you can use the commands to deal with these PowerShell repositories. You might have your private feeds within your organization, where from you are providing the packages to your developers or the automation team. So you can configure that feed as a trusted feed on the systems. Well, let's get back to the command which we use to see all the commands from the for the modules. So get command noun module. We have seen find module. We have seen installing the module. We can save the modules. We can publish the modules to the feed, and uninstalling a particular module that I have installed. So let's say DNS, STIG, or any other module that I don't want to work with now, so that I can do. I can update the modules as well from here. So this is the command to update the modules. Okay. So these are some commands to work with the PowerShell modules. So that's all from this tutorial. If you have any questions, please do let me know in the comment section. I hope this was informative to you. Thanks for watching.